here I am again, yet again, at the Oasis Pickleball Club in Rockwall. And I really, my heart rate's like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I have a defibrillator in there. This guy actually knows my doctor. Crazy. He actually owns this joint. And he's been through here and here and here and there and everywhere. And his name is Mr. Darren Rak for the Oasis Pickleball Club, the owner and president. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing wonderful. Just recently retired from our real medical job back in the end of 2022, which is a wonderful thing, so I can focus on what I'm doing out here. And it's been a real fun time. So we're growing with leaps and bounds, and a lot going on right now. So it's pickleball's, to say it's a growing sport's probably an understatement. So
I'll go back to me here real quick. Is that Mr. Rak here is a tennis player, and I think he's now a pickleball player. Pretty sure he is when he gets some time, because he sounds to me like he's ready to get all in. But I would like for everybody, for all our pickleball professionals, tennis players, pickleball players, and patrons, to listen to the story, because I remember when this place first opened up, when I was entrenched in tennis at Brookhaven Racket Club in Farmers Branch. So, Mr. Rak, let us know how it all went down, sir.
All right, so had a good friend that we opened up Oasis Tennis, and I love tennis, and I played, and we had some real success here. And I would say probably about the time COVID hit, we saw obviously a huge downturn. And then as we were coming out of COVID, I met a person, a lady named Francine. And Francine's an ambassador. Francine Jewett is an ambassador of North Texas Pickleball, and I had never even heard of pickleball at the time. But Francine convinced me that this sport is coming, and I doubted it. But we decided to convert some of the courts to pickleball. And as we were coming out of COVID, I noticed that even when the weather was not good, these folks came out to play. I don't care if it was 40 degrees. I don't care if it was windy. I don't care what.
I'm playing pickleball.
Yeah, they wanted to play. They were passionate. They loved it. They were welcoming to everyone that wanted to play it. And so we started converting pickleball courts. And I remember telling my wife that I'm going to convert every single court out here to pickleball. And she begged me not to do it because I was ready to retire. But I'm a real gamer, and I risk taker, and I thought I'm going to change every single court to pickleball. Made some people unhappy, but with the help of Francine and a couple other ambassadors, we spent a bunch of money, and we now have 42 pickleball courts. Not anything against tennis. I still enjoy tennis, but we felt like that sport was coming. And if we built it, she said they would come, and Francine was right.
So, Mr. Rak, if you can, could you maybe name drop a couple of those people that were part with Francine, and that'd be great to hear their names.
Oh yeah, well, I've been very fortunate to have Gene Click as my general manager.
Absolutely.
My partner in crime out here, who has been with me since I started, from the swimming pool to the tennis is Deanna Irving. She's my general manager out here, and she basically runs the entire facility. And I've got a huge staff of people that help keep the grounds clean and keep growing and keep the tents up when the wind blows.
Those important people out there, man.
Those are important people, and I couldn't do it without them. And so where we're at now is we've turned into somewhat of a tournament facility.
Yep.
And we have turned Rockwall into a Mecca for pickleball, and it's gotten so crazy with the number of California people moving in that I asked them all, why did you come to Rockwall? And so many of them are pickleball players that they literally will Google to see where the best pickleball facility is, and they literally moved to Rockwall as a result of wanting to play and know that they wouldn't have to wait for courts and always have a game. So To say it's been a whirlwind.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Thought I'd made some mistakes along the way, which I have. But I would say that overall, I love the people that come and play pickleball. I love the sport. I think we probably made the right decision. I saw the other day where 6 months ago, I think the average age of the pickleball player was only 38 years old, and 6 months later, it's now 31. We have kids out here that play pickleball every single day. That tells you that it's got legs and it's got a future, and nothing tells you that it's a more inclusive sport than having children out here and playing against adults and grandparents. And the competition is fun, but it's first and foremost inclusive, as I said, and everybody welcomes everyone to the sport. And as Gene says, 1 minute you're playing pickleball with someone you've never met, and the next minute you're at Chili's having a cold beer and a hamburger. So,
well, I got to tell you, from running into Mr. Rak here, or Darren Rak, he was called in college, very intimidating man, but very passionate. And I do remember hearing about you when I was entrenched at Brookhaven with juniors, and I even know some pros that came over here, and I always heard about how passionate and honest you were. So thank you for letting TCD have this and letting me come here, our show come here. It's our show because you're on it. Don't forget that. And
yeah, thanks for coming out.
So let me ask this question: are you thinking about playing a little here and there, or are you dabbling a bit, or what's your pickleball menu right now?
I am definitely going to start playing as soon as I get things calmed down here to where I feel like I've got a better grip on all these tournaments. We've got about 22, 23 tournaments this year, and so that keeps me pretty busy. I get out there and mow just like everybody else does here and keep the grounds up. And but I've got a good friend of mine, Doug Smith, who I promised that we're going to be partners again like we were in tennis, and we made it all the way to the quarterfinals in 4-0 tennis, and so we think we're pretty good at pickleball too. So my day's coming, and I better start playing before I get too old.
We may do a live broadcast, and I could do color and color play-by-play, or Ren could come out too.
Right. Yeah.
I'm serious though.
This is good.
But all right, well, so real quick, now we talked about the pickleball part. Just if I can ask about you a little about yourself, where you're from, and family, kids, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm a father of 3, and now I'm a grandfather of 2. And my son, who is now 28 years old, and his wife Sarah are about to have a baby, which we are extremely excited about. Being a grandfather is all they said it's cracked up to be. So I thought I would be more of a calming down by this time, but I think they enjoy me staying busy and getting out of the house. That's how my wife and I have stayed married for 40 years. So we've been together since we were 16 years old. So my wife Nancy and I,
Nancy.
She is the quintessential grandmother. Lady. Yeah, she keeps me grounded.
I got one too.
There you go. And so I think that I'm going to be in this sport for a long time. I love it. I know it's got legs. This sport's going to be here for a long time. I get a kick when people say that this is a flash in the pan. That was what people said 4 years ago.
5 years ago.
And now we're seeing Jack Sock play with Annalisa Waters, and it's just too much fun to see it happen. And that we have the PPA coming, we have the MLP coming, and I get to hobnob with Tyson and so many of the professional players that are so down to earth, and it is so much fun to engage and have them enjoy our facility, and I think they enjoy it because I know they know how much we appreciate them coming here, and the PPA has been nothing but a treasure to work with, and I think it has great leadership, but I think there's a lot of momentum going right now, and I don't see this ship slowing down at all. So
I would say with that right there, I believe I'm going to invite myself out, and he's going to invite me to meet those players too one day out here when they come to one of his tournaments, because I'm not going anywhere. But so my last question is fun. It's fun because I want people to know, we already know your story. We know your passion for pickleball. I want people to know something funny, unique about you. My funny thing to give you time to think, is that my in-laws got me my first pickleball job after COVID. I did that for 2 years with them, and they did a great job. So something funny like that. I love science fiction movies, like X-Files too, by the way, and John Carpenter movies.
Yeah. Well, I guess people probably wouldn't know it, but I'm a huge hunter. I only bow hunt.
Oh, wow.
I do a little bit of waterfowling, and I played baseball in college.
What college was that?
I went to McLennan first.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played with Jay Buhner. That's my
Oh, yeah.
claim to fame. Jay
See?
was one of my good
So
friends.
where did you know about Jay
That's
Buhner,
right.
Seattle Mariners?
Yeah, Jay his claim to fame. He played with Ken Griffey Jr. He probably doesn't mention my name as much.
Does he play pickleball yet?
Jay, you should be playing
Yeah,
pickleball.
we're gonna have you on
to
this,
get
Jay. I'm
this.
coming for you.
And Chuck Finley, I played with him at ULM. It is called now. I pitched in college. I was a left-handed pitcher, but I do play pickleball right-handed
That's
just to
tough.
play fair, to
Oh.
make it easier on the competitors. So,
Well, anyway, I can't end much better than that, but I will track your progress, and I look forward to hopefully coming back out here and working with you in this awesome facility called Oasis Pickleball Club. Any last words, D-Rak?
if you're not playing, you better be out here, and if you haven't played, you need to start. And this June the 1st is a great time to come out and see what it's all about and see what a welcoming sport it is, and to see in the matter of 15 minutes you can have a paddle and be playing. As they say, it's a very easy sport to learn, but a very tough one to master.
Exactly. So, last question in parting is, again, how would people be able to reach you if they wanted a job here or wanted a membership? They're viewing on some other platform in Australia and they're coming to Texas.
Yeah, so not that hard. OasisPickleballClub.com. We have a very good website. We're on Instagram. We run some pretty funny ads. We have a great time with that. We are out in the Rockwall area right off of 30. You just head down 205 south for 3 miles. You can't miss us on the left. We have 25 acres, 42 courts, a huge swimming pool. We even have an urban air out here for your kids if they get bored and don't want to watch pickleball. So it is a good time. It's a one-stop shop, and we usually have some good food, and we actually have some adult beverages out here. So we'd love to have you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rak. All right, for those of you, I can be reached at Curtis, Curtis, at ReeseRacketSports.com. We also have a banner up here. Thank you for letting us put a big, nice banner up here. It's going to pay off well for you. Everybody have a great weekend, and go TCD Pickleball and go Oasis Pickleball. Boom.
Bam.